Kal Halal, Yehovah, Hashem Yoshe, Hashem Rekal Kudash, Barak the Yehovah, Barak the Yoshe. Shalom, double honors to Els of GMS Great Millstone. Shalom to the elect, Chol Ties, Raskeder Bro. Greetings. We call ourselves the hopeful elect because we don't know who the elect are on these ties. Shalom. This is Joel chapter 2, verse 1. Blow ye the trumpet in Zion, and sound an alarm in my holy mountain. That all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of Yahweh cometh, for it is nigh at hand. The true prophets of Yahweh by Shem Shai are blowing the trumpet in Zion amongst the Israelites, amongst our people. Cry ye aloud and spare not, lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and show my people their transgression, the house of Jacob, their sins. The true prophets are doing that. The tower of the flock, Micah chapter 4, verse 8. And now, O tower of the flock, the stronghold of the daughter of Zion, unto thee shall they come, even the first dominion. The kingdom shall come to the daughter of Jerusalem. The tower of the flock. The prophets, the elect. The prophets are counted as the elect. And the tower of the flock. With this knowledge is truth, you lift it up amongst our people. You're on a tower. And if you're on a tower, you can what? See afar off. You gotta envision yourself. You're on a tower in the field. You're in the forest. You can see afar off. You can see the enemy coming in from miles and miles away. And you see what's going on and what's about to come and happen. So now you're blowing the trumpet. You're sounding an alarm. You're sounding an alarm amongst our people. The true prophets are doing that of Yahweh B'Shem Shai. Whether you hear or forbear, the alarm is going out. The prophets are doing it. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of Yahweh cometh, for it is nigh at hand. Amos chapter 3, verse 6. Shall a trumpet be blown in the city, and the people not be afraid? Shall there be evil in the city, and Yahweh have not done it? Yahweh B'Shem Shai have not done it? Shall a trumpet be blown in the city? True prophets, they're doing that. They're blowing a trumpet by what? Speaking and teaching the words of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai and prophesying. Letting you know there's great evil coming. Evil means what? Bad times. That nuclear war is on the way. So the true prophets of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai are blowing that trumpet. Went into how they're doing it. Not that they have to be out there on the Empire State Building blowing shofars and trumpets. No. And the people not be afraid. Oh, these people are going to be afraid soon. The ones that don't take heed and is like, I ain't scared. They're going to be afraid soon. The ones that fear Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai now, and this truth now is who? The elect. Habakkuk chapter 2, Slakia chapter 3, verse 1. A prayer of Habakkuk, the prophet upon Shigionoth. O Yahweh, I have heard thy speech, and was afraid. O Yahweh, revive thy work in the midst of the years. In the midst of the years make known. In wrath remember mercy. Verse 2. A day of darkness and of gloominess, a day of clouds and of thick darkness. As the morning spread upon the mountains, a great people and a strong, there have not ever been the like, neither shall be any more after it, even to the years of many generations. True prophets of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai have been blowing the alarm and sounding the trumpet of this day to come. And what is verse 2 talking about? World War III going nuclear. The third woe pursuing the scriptures with burning and fuel of fire, written about in Isaiah chapter 9, verse 6. This war will be with burning and fuel of fire, which is the third woe, which is World War III going nuclear. And who is going to bring that out? Pursuant to Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 45. The least of the flock shall draw them out. The least of the flock is going to draw out America into the Middle East. And the Middle East is what? The Valley of Jehoshaphat. World War III is going to start as a conventional war and escalate to nuclear. The Medes, which is the Russians, pursuant to Isaiah chapter 13, and other scriptures as well, will be stirred up against America, Babylon, the beauty of the Chaldees' excellency. And they're going to fire their arrows, and their arrows shall have no pity on the fruit of the womb. Their eye shall not spare sons, children. Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldean excellency, shall be as when God, Yahweh, overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. It shall never be inhabited, neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation. Neither shall the Arabian pitch tent there, neither shall the shepherds make their fold there. But wild beasts of the desert shall lie there, and dragons in their pleasant palaces. And her time is near to come, and her days shall not be prolonged. You can read about all that in Isaiah chapter 13. And it talks about, and satyrs shall dance there. Satyrs is a type of animal. If you're questioning, I didn't read that from anywhere, so go to Isaiah chapter 13. They have nuclear missiles they're going to bring. The missiles alone are going to bring darkness and gloominess. You got mushroom clouds, all that. They have clouds, thick darkness, blocking out the sun, all that. And there's even science behind it with nuclear missiles with the sky turning red. They're great people. They're strong. They have not been ever the like, which is what? These missiles, ICBMs, intercontinental ballistic missiles. Neither shall be any more after it, even to the years of many generations. The fire devoured before them, and behind them a flame burneth. The land is as the Garden of Eden before them. See how America portrayed in this wonderful, vast, beautiful light. Isaiah 13 goes into the beauty of child things excellency, the glory of kingdoms. Does that not describe America? It's like the Garden of Eden, how it's described. Before them and behind them a desolate wilderness. Yea, nothing shall escape them. So, whatever these missiles are meant to get, they're going to get. Nothing's going to escape these missiles here in America. Only thing that will escape these missiles here in America is the elect. Remember, I was shy. He just sent out his angels to gather his elect from the four winds from one end of heaven even unto the other. As Yahushua spoke about, they're going to be beamed up and meet Yahushua in the chariot, one big chariot. Yahushua is coming back with a big chariot. All the elect will be able to fit in there. The scriptures speak about meet the Lord in the air. It's not meet him floating on air. You're going to meet Yahushua in a chariot. It's going to be beautiful. The appearances of them is as the appearance of horses, and as horsemen, so shall they run. The appearance of them is as the appearance of horses. Horses represent, is symbolic for what? For power. You see this horse right here on screen? That's how the missiles going to be coming. Unstoppable, yeah. I think missiles going to be coming unstoppable. They're going to be coming with ferociously. They're going to be charging them missiles. You got a picture, it's flying. They'll be moving them missiles. Horses represent symbolic for power. And as horsemen, so shall they run. Like the noise of chariots on the top of mountains. Man, that's going to produce a lot of vibration there. Shall they leap like the noise of a flame of fire that devoureth the stubble, as a strong people set in battle array. It's describing these missiles as a strong people set in battle array. People see Mike Tyson walking towards them, they get scared and move. They might move, especially back in the day when he was in his prime. As a strong people, this is plural, not just people, a strong people set in battle array. That's intimidating. Before their face the people shall be much pain. All faces shall gather blackness. When they found the missiles is coming for them, it's going to be the end of it. There's no way they can go. Russia has them fast missiles that can reach America in 30 minutes and under. It's going to be horrific. And why is this going to happen to America and to the earth? Isaiah chapter 34 verse 8, for it is the day of Yahweh's vengeance. The day of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai's vengeance. And the year of recompenses for the controversy of Zion. Zion is who? The children of Israel. The true children of Israel. So this day is coming for what happened to the true children of Israel. How these other nations treated the Israelites. And what nation is most at play for how they treated the true children of Israel the worst? The Edomites. Esau is. Ezekiel 35. Yeah. Ezekiel chapter 35 verse 1. Moreover, the word of Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir and prophesy against it. Mount Seir is where? America. Now, Mount Seir is America. Not that we're going to go right here to Petra, Mount Seir, and start screaming at it. No. In this Mount Seir in Ezekiel chapter 35, because there's an ancient Mount Seir, but this Mount Seir in Ezekiel chapter 35 is referring to a future prophecy, which is America. Verse 3, and say unto it, Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, Behold, O Mount Seir, I am against thee, and I will stretch out mine hand against thee, and I will make thee most desolate. I will lay thy cities waste, and thou shalt be desolate, and thou shalt know that I am Yahweh. I am Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred. Because? Why? Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the sons of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. Let's get through the Bible. Ezekiel 35 verse 5. Were there for children of Hebrew as sons, although, he did the men, he did the women and children, which also contributes to it. He shed the blood of the children of Israel, the men, the women, and the children. In the time that their iniquity had an end, you go on to Abraham Lincoln, the Emancipation Proclamation. In the time that their iniquity had an end, that time period, they did the Jim Crow laws, the lynchings, all that. Let's get perpetual.
Strong's H5769. Olam. Olam.
Always. This man, since ancient times, has always had a perpetual hatred, continuous existence against the children of Israel, the men, the women, and the children. And he led us into captivity. Captivity is what? Slavery. The lynchings, the buck breaking, the raping of the men's wives. And they even did that to the men, and they did that to children. The gator bait, the tortures, the incarcerations, even up to this day. What you see and don't see. Revelation chapter 13 verse 10. He that leadeth in the captivity shall go into captivity. So all these nations led us into slavery. The main Uno nation is who? Esau, Edom, so-called white man, the red man, pursuant to Genesis chapter 25 verse 25. This white man isn't white, he's red. Pink is a shade of red. Look at their skin color. Take a good look at it. It is not white like a piece of paper. It is red. Pink is a shade of red. You get into the finer details of their skin color. For anyone that does art, when you color so-called white people's skin, you don't put white like the crown. You use reds and all that, and pinks. And peaches, the color peach. The peach color for the color pencils, which is a shade of red. Go to Psalm 83, list the enemies of the nation of Israel. All these nations played a part in our slavery, but Esau, Edom, is the worst. And the worst place that this ever happened to us across the world is where? Is in America, Babylon. Went to a Mount Seir. Not the ancient one, but modern, which is America, Babylon. And that even goes for the other Edomites across the world as well, Ezekiel 35. Not just America. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. What is the sword? Modern day sword is the gun. The sword equals weapons. hatchets, knives, little swords, so on and so forth. Modern day swords, the gun. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. The saints of who? The true children of Israel. You can't be a saint unless you're an Israelite. Doesn't matter what the Catholic Church says. If the Catholic Church makes Emperor Nero a saint, he is not a saint. Psalm chapter 148 verse 14. He also exalted the horn of his people. So it was his people, the children of Israel, the Israelites. The praise of all his saints. So his people, the saints, they're the same people. Even of the sons of Israel, a people near unto him. Praise ye Yahweh. This is Psalm 148, 14. The word there for children, the Hebrew is sons. Yep. So his people is the only saints. Esau can never be a saint to all these other nations. So in order to be a saint, you have to be what? An Israelite. Either you look like another nation. If you an Israelite that looks like another nation, you a speckled bud Israelite. This is in Jeremiah chapter 12, verse 9. There's plenty of examples of it. You know, there's a lady on YouTube, she looks straight up Chinese when she raps and sings, sounds just like a so-called black woman. So on and so forth for examples. Bruce Lee was an Israelite. That's a good example. No, Shalom, Kal Halal, Yahweh, Bashim Yoshai, Bashim Rakal Kudash, Rakti Yahweh, Rakti Yoshai, Shalom. Double honor said Els GMS Great Millstone, Shalom. You know, there's been brothers in GMS Great Millstone look like so-called white people, but they actually go back to Israelites. Now, how do you be Israelite? By your father, not your mother. And the man carries the seed, plants, they carry seeds bearing after their kind, we saw in the Genesis. So the men carry the seed, which is the sperma, after their kind. And the seed and all that comes from the man's testicles and so on and so forth with science and all that. Shalom. The scriptures speak about come out of the loins, the children. Shalom.